Hey there, Army friends. It's your boy Choppadong, and I am going to talk a little bit of Pick6 format with you today. It's a new DraftKings format, if you're unaware, that really goes more player to player, me versus you, not me versus the house or you versus the house. We all know that the math is always going to give the house the advantage. You have to beat the house. You have to make more than 55% or 52.5% of your picks correct over the long run to beat the house. And it's very, very hard to do. Very, very few people improper pick'em betting can do that. So what we're really trying to do is focus more on beating other players. And when a site like a format like Tiers or Showdown or even back in the day Classic DFS was new, people didn't know what they were doing. There was low-hanging fruit that could be had. Right now, Pick6 has that low-hanging fruit for you. In just a week, I have created a $50 balance up to $128 by taking advantage of promos and easy picks. I can show you how to do the exact same thing inside dfsarmy.com as a VIP. You just have to use the coupon code PLAYOFFS and get in here for 24% off your membership and look me up. You can find me in so many different rooms inside dfsarmy.com's Discord. I'm pretty easy. If not, ask somebody where to find me and they can certainly direct you to there. I'm not a hard guy to find. Today's picks were really, really simple. Because we're using a credit, we're using a $10 promo for a $1 play in Pick6, let's go big. We could make 2 picks and 3 picks and things like that and really increase our odds of being correct, because I think we all know it's harder to hit a 6 pick than it is to hit a 2 pick, right? But what we can do in this scenario, because we're already locking up some profit, bet $1 and guaranteed to make 9 back in site credit that you can then work off in second chance betting type scenarios and convert to cash. We can be risky. We can go for the upside. So I found 5 props that I liked using our Proptimizer tool in dfsarmy.com, which is something you have access to. And what I'm really doing is I'm using Vegas Juice. This has been working for a week. Do I guarantee it's going to work all year long? No, but it is working right now, so I'm really trying to press up my edge. I can do it in NBA, I can do it in football, I can do it in a lot of different scenarios because Vegas puts more resources into these numbers than I do at balancing the lines, and they generally get pretty close. I think we can all admit that. So for a guy like me who doesn't know shit from shit, he's going to sit down and he's going to say, let's use our resources to our advantage. Let's use some projections maybe and back our play, but let's lean on that Vegas advantage. What is the juice? When you have a two-way market, like a shot on goal market for hockey, or points plus rebounds plus assists in NBA, or passing yards for Patrick Mahomes in NFL, you have a two-way prop market, which says, here's his number. Patrick Mahomes is going to throw for 262.5 yards over or under. And they generally, if they get the line right, and the money's more or less balanced on either side, it's minus 110 pricing for either side. However, when more bets start coming in on one side, or sharp bets that move the market start coming in on one side over the other, a preferred side, the house is going to start to charge more of a price, more juice for that pick, for that side. If everything's coming in on Patrick Mahomes going over, then you're going to start seeing the 110 move to minus 115, minus 120, minus 125, minus 140, minus 150. And then eventually the line, the number is going to move from, say, 262.5 to 265, or something that's going to kind of try to create a little bit more balance. It's typically the way Vegas works. So we're going to use that when we're looking here. But with picking 5 of these numbers correct, we're getting 10 to 1 on our money, right? I want to bank most of this $10. I don't need to make it a $10 or a $20 bet tonight. I can make it a $1 bet, bank these credits and work these things off later as I see fit, maybe $2, $5 at a time, whatever. But for the first bonus part, boom, I'm going to bank as much of it as I possibly can. If I win tonight, I might make $10, $11, $12. I might make $8. I don't know. That's one of the funny parts about the Pick6 market, is it depends on how many people actually got 5 out of 5 correct. The more people get 5 out of 5 correct, the lower that payout's going to be, because it's a finite pool that gets distributed evenly to all of the winners. But it does give me a little bit of a flex play here in that I can make 4 out of 5 picks correct and still get something back. That's fine. Again, I don't care because I've already locked in $9 worth of profit off of that $10. So this is no risk betting for me. When you're playing no risk betting, deposit matches, second chance bets, whatever, your highest EV is generally going to be in picking something like a dog or a multi-leg parlay or something that pays out well. You don't need to pick the minus 200 or the minus 300 favorite for pennies on the dollar when you can actually go pick a plus 300 or a plus 400 favorite, and you're not going to hit it as often. That is a guarantee. But when you do hit it, it actually pays you better for the free investment or the cheap investment. You can then use multi-sites, multi-markets against each other and start hedging off some of those bets and start even creating arbitrage opportunities. That's all fancy stuff that we can talk about at a later date. It is all possible. One of my favorite things to do in sports betting is looking for middles where I might have, not to get too far off the beaten path, but let's say the Baltimore Ravens on one site are a 3-point favorite to win, and on another site, the Baltimore Ravens are only a 1-point favorite to win. In that case, I've got a gap in those numbers, and I can bet the under on one side or the underdog on one side, and then I can bet the favorite on the other side of the bet, and I offset them 90 some odd percent of the time. But sometimes that number would land at a 2-point victory for Baltimore, and if it lands, they'd cover the 1 point, but they would lose the -3. And in that made up scenario, I hit the middle. And when I hit the middle, both bets pay. I love doing that. I can show you how to do that as well inside dfsarmy.com. But here's what we're going to do. These are the ones that I picked, and I want to show you not how I arrived on these particular players, but I want to show you, kind of walk you through the prize picks Proptimizer here at DFS Army and show you what I'm talking about when it comes to the juice. If we just go to the market, we can do it in NBA next, but if we could just go to the market, and let's say we pick total shots on goal, hit apply, and now we've got all the shot on goal props. I can start scrolling down this list, plus 107, plus 106, plus 112. See, these are all dog bets, and that's fine if that's the side you want and that's the side you're strongly on. But watch this. They're all telling you that this plus 112 is a little bit juiced actually to the under. This plus 117, this plus 120 is actually, this one here goes opposite. It's plus 120 on the under, which means it's actually kind of juiced on the over, which means the odds are Mikheyev is going over the 1.5, okay? Now, mathematically on prize picks, it's going to pay a little bit better to take the under anyway. That's what the tool is telling you. But if you don't worry about the pricing because you're on DraftKings format, then you can play the juice. So let's scroll on down here. If I wanted Mercer, I could take the plus 126, I could flip it on its head, and I'd bet the over. It's projected at 1.8. The consensus in the sports betting industry is on the number 2, which is over this number, which is why the number 2 is carrying the juice, which is why over 1.5 is carrying the juice. If I scroll down far enough, I can start finding the negative numbers. There's a minus 136 on Jake Gensel on the over 3.5 shots on goal. There's Kyle Connor under 3.5. These are on the correct side. The juice is on the correct side of this bet. So what I'm looking for, projections aside, what I'm looking for is a prop where Kyle Connor is playing to the under. And on DraftKings, I don't pay the minus 136. I just make the pick and say under. And that's it. I use it as part of my 2 ticket, my 3, my 4, my 5 pick, whatever. And I include him in there at minus 136. It's a pretty decent juice on under 3.5. Meaning the sports books are banking on him going under the number. That's why they're charging more for that bet. Gensel, same diff, only on the over. And this one coincides with our projection, which would make me like that even more. But if I keep scrolling down here and keep looking at the minus 130, sometimes you can find something even better. If I scroll down a little bit more, here's a plus 144, which is probably a pretty hefty minus 150 or something like that on these guys on the other side of the bet. So a plus 144 would actually be probably a minus 150 or so on the under, if you can find that prop here on the under for the prop. Would like to find one that just easily shows you exactly how it plays out with the minus. There's a minus 201 for Jake DeBrusk. Minus 201. That is a lot of damn juice. Over 1.5. Our projections concur with a 2.07. This is a strong play. I know it's red over here, but ignore that when you're on a prize picks or on a Pick6 DraftKings type of site. Ignore that number. You just want the juice indicators here, minus 200, minus 201. You could take DeBrusk, Lafreniere, and Krause if you could find those 3 players in the Pick6 tickets and just go bing, bing, bing and make a 3-pick on them and actually be pretty confident that you might hit that bet tonight. And you're probably going to hit it for a 5-to-1 money advantage. You put a buck on it and you might come back with $5 to $6, if that makes sense. And this is how you can use these sites and use Vegas against some of these sites until they catch on and either get sharp or whatever. Now, I find that the Pick6 market, there's under minus 181, under on Nikola Ehlers at minus 181, under 3.5 shots on goal. Minus 175, Clayton Keller, under 3.5 shots on goal. Again, you can find these bets very, very easily. Okay, if we go really quickly to the NBA market, just show you what's coming there. Let's say we wanted to, we'll turn this off, the select all, turn it off, and let's pick, you do PRA if you want to, but let's just pick total points. It's something everybody understands. They're minus 102, minus 107, minus 105. There's some juice right there. Under 17 on Chris Middleton. Under 17.5, juiced to the under. Our projection agrees with the under. On a Pick6 format like DraftKings, I would take the under. And I would take that over some of these other bets. I would be more confident. I'm just using the tools presented to me and trying to find, your minus 120s, minus 1. There's a minus 138 on Sabonis to go over 20.5 points tonight. Juiced minus 140 on the over. Projections concur. Sabonis has a very good chance at hitting the over. And you just keep going. You just keep going. Minus 143 for Luka Doncic going over 31.5 points. That's a good number. These are easy to pick out as you just scroll through the site. Write down some of your, the minus 109s, minus 104, plus 100 even money stuff. If you're playing a prop site like DK Sportsbook or BetMGM, yes, you pay attention to that pricing. Again, if you're playing DraftKings Pick6, use that pricing to your advantage because you're not paying it. Okay, I might not play this bet on DraftKings, or I might play it on DraftKings Sportsbook, depending on what I felt like the projection was telling me. I mean, this looks pretty good over at even money, if it's even money on the over side of 10.5 for Bobby Portis. I wouldn't take this bet in a Pick6 format, though, because this price means nothing to me. I'm just looking for things that are juiced to the correct side. So to hammer home the point just a little bit more, I'd like to find a couple of more. A lot of times you don't find these minus 140s and minus 150s very commonly. And the reason why is because the line will move. The under 8.5 will drop to 7.5 so it can charge less juice and get people to still pick it. It makes it a little tougher to hit, especially if you're saying it's going to hit at 14 and it moves towards you. It moves from 17 to 16. It moves towards you on the under. That's eating away a lot of your value. You want to find the softest numbers you can. Here we go. Derek White over 16.5 points at minus 145. The sports books in the world have it set at about 17.5, and we're projecting 18.5. That's why you see the juice at minus 145 on the over. Again, it just doesn't take long to scroll through these. Hopefully you see the point. Hopefully this is a tool you want access to, because again, coupon code playoffs gets you in here, gets you access to people like me that have been coaching this stuff for years, people like me that can make you a competitive better, sports better, and put the tools in your hands to make you better. That's where the value is in a site like ours. And most importantly, the coaching. We have multiple coaches on props. We have multiple coaches in basketball, football, baseball, tennis, soccer, any sport you could possibly fathom. That's why you would want to be an all-inclusive VIP. If you play DFS, optimizers, research tools, all that stuff is all at your disposal. For what amounts to like 24% off of, I think, $70 a month, comes down to close to $50 to $60 a month. It's really kind of a no-brainer compared to the rest of the industry out there these days. They're all charging $100 or more. We are way under the market, and therefore providing you even more value compared to the fact that we even show you how to play like we play. That's the value. Hopefully you see it. Hopefully you come inside. Hopefully you ask us a bunch of questions, and I can show you how to turn that $50 deposit into $120 some odd dollars in probably a week, betting $1 at a time. It's very, very low risk, very, very decent upside, and I'd love to see you inside taking advantage of it. All right, boys, I'm Chapadong. Boys and girls, I will see you on the other side. Take care.